If you hold V2, you can swap it 1-to-1 for the new token on Solana once it is deployed. If you hold V1, there will be another ratio to account for the vastly different supply numbers and the fact that you had literally years to swap already. What's going on, guys? So Safemoon was bought out by a project called VGX, and they acquired the Safemoon assets, and it appears that they're going to be relaunching the token on Solana in a couple days, which is interesting because it was just last month that a Safemoon community takeover was launched on Solana, and Hank from the old Safemoon team actually kind of helped promote this and be a part of it, but the chart for it isn't looking the best. So the one that's launching soon, there's not a lot of information about it. But it's supposed to be this project that gives the community the control to make the decisions of what they want done with Safemoon. What do you want to see the community build for Safemoon? What things do you think should be built? Or even better, that you can build that would enhance the community experience? Drop your ideas below. This is Safemoon. Safemoon posted, and this is very recently because they're going to be doing this in the next couple days. They said, this is something we are very concerned about and the root cause of our delay. Everything is ready to go except the swap tech, and we really wanted to get that done first. This is a legit CTA. If you hold V2, you can swap it 1-to-1 for the new token on Solana once it is deployed. If you hold V1, there will be another ratio to account for the vastly different supply numbers and the fact that you had literally years to swap already. So they've made it so that V1 holders and V2 holders are going to be able to swap for the Solana token. That means the new contract will just get dumped. They say you need to be rugged, scammed, and hacked to be experienced in crypto. Safemoon checked 2 of the boxes for me. Will always be thankful for that. So it looks like, yeah, you will be able to use your Safemoon to swap for this new Safemoon that they're launching on Solana. The people who bought out Safemoon, it's not the old team because most of them are in jail or have left the project. My personal take on this, I was involved for Safemoon as a YouTuber covering it for a long time, is it's always going to result in more people being damaged than helped. It also created a cult mindset that helped reinforce that people thinking things that led to them being hurt because they believed things that weren't true for so long. Through the migration process, you already have whales built into the project who aren't providing liquidity. And so I'm not trying to be negative, and every person has to decide what you want to do with your money. I just personally believe this is going to damage more people than it helps. And if you don't solve that problem, if you don't balance whale dominance, if you don't create a system that's good for the community, not just the whales, then you're going to hurt your community and sacrifice your community so that the whales who sell can benefit. And so this is why I've created Control Chain, and Control Chain, I believe, is the only way that Safemoon could ever come back as a legitimate project because of what we've created with Control Chain. The problems that Safemoon faced, I, being a part of that, have gone and created the solutions, not just to Safemoon, but to all of DeFi. Everyone is seeking liquidity in a barren desert. Control Chain provides new kinds of cryptos that offer the largest percentage of communities winning in the history of DeFi. So typically 5 to 10% of a community wins by being early and dumping on the other 90% who loses. Control Chain's projects, you've got 30, 40, 50% of the community winning. The biggest percentage of a community winning and coming out with profit than ever has happened in the history of crypto on our blockchain that's in its seed round right now at seed.controltoken. Longer lasting projects, so because we have control tokenomics, which really is the idea of delayed liquidity, you have the ability to create projects that don't dump and die within a couple days. Balancing whale dominance with community and purpose-driven projects, the goal shouldn't just be to fuel the whales with exit liquidity. That's how crypto's designed, so we found a way to balance this, and not just kind of balance it, but significantly balance it so that there is a ton of value that goes back to the holders and not to the whales. Greatest protection from sell-offs round tripping ever seen. So by delaying value and storing up value in the future, you protect the project price from going below the value that you have stored up in the future. And if you are somebody who's round tripped your bags where you write it up really high and you write it back down to zero, by storing up value in the future like we do with Control Chain tokenomics, you have value that protects you from that situation where you have a significant amount of value that gets stored up that you fall back on. We have the fastest rising floor in the history of DeFi, so the floor is the lowest the price can go, and because of control tokenomics, we have a floor that rises faster than any project you've ever seen, where if the price gets close to the floor, it will not be able to go below that without you being able to buy into rewards that are greater than the cost of your bag. If you go to seed.controltoken.net, you can join our pre-sale. We're at 150,000. You actually get a 10x multiplier on your tokens, so you can build a very large position in the coin for the blockchain, which is Control Coin. This is going to be the first coin of its kind to have more value going towards the future than towards the present. So there will always be incentive to hold the project because there's way more value in the future than in the present. So Control Coin is going to be the first of its kind ever crypto to have more value, the highest rising floor, protection against sell-offs. To the degree to what we have it, this has not been done before, and we're creating the ability for people to make projects on our chain with these tokenomics that nobody has access to outside of our chain. You cannot balance whale dominance unless you're on our chain, and our chain is in its pre-sale stage right now. Find out if what I'm saying is real or not. Put me to the test. Is Control Tokenomics actually a better system, a new crypto that hasn't been done before? Does it actually design to grow and last longer? Does it reward a far greater percentage of its community? Does it change DeFi? Put those questions to the test. I promise you, you'll come out thinking, I can't believe what Control Tokenomics are capable of, and you'll be able to be a part of our pre-sale for the blockchain that is going to create these new kinds of cryptos. Thanks for checking in, everybody. Maybe I'll do another video update on Safemoon if anything interesting or big happens with it, and I'll see you guys later.